Welcome back, design students. In this video, we're going to import the wine bottle that we made previously, and we're going to create a wine object, just like we did for the wine glass. So let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is go to File, Import, Merge, just like we did last time. And then you need to find the scene that contains the wine bottle that you're going to use. I'm going to use this one. Now this is a previous scene that I made that had lots of other things in it, but the bottle is the thing I want. In the wine bottle project that you created, you should just have your wine bottle. So when that comes in, you'll see the modifiers on it that we used to create it. You'll have the shell modifier on it, and you'll have lathe, and of course you'll have the line object. I'm going to turn off shell, zoom in my front view, expand my front view by hitting Alt-W. Then I'm going to turn off lathe. And you can see here that I have already selected some segments. Selected these. Oops, sorry. These right here. These are the ones I'm going to use to create my object. So go ahead and select a segment that's sort of part of the way up here, maybe something right in this general area. And then we're going to do the same thing we did before. I'm going to scroll down and find Detach. I'm going to make sure Copy is selected. And then we're going to name this wine. Actually, let's name this bottle wine. And click OK. Then let's select that new object that we created in our outliner and move it over just a little bit, maybe right in there. Remember, we do have a shell modifier in here. And then maybe let's move it up a little bit as well, sort of off the bottom here. And then let's apply the lathe modifier to it. And click Min. And now let's return to the wine bottle for a second and turn on lathe and shell. You can see that it's where it's supposed to be here, but it's sticking out on this side. So to fix that, select the wine object, open up the lathe modifier and select axis, and then pull that in so that it's not touching, just barely not touching the inner wall of your bottle. And then we can close that up, and we can actually hide the wine bottle. So let's go ahead and hide it, because now we need to fix this just like we did our wine object. So now I'm going to switch this to the perspective viewport by hitting P on my keyboard. And I'm going to turn on wireframe here so I can see my wine object. And I'm going to hit Z so I can zoom in on it. I'm going to rotate under here and see if I have a hole in the bottom. I do not. So all I really need to do is do the top like we did before. So I'm going to now convert this to an editable poly. I'm going to go to border mode and let's select this top border here. And then let's get the scale tool, and in the very middle here, hold down Shift and scale that in a little bit, just like we did for the wine for the glass. Let go of everything and then hold down Shift again and scale in. And then come up to your modeling ribbon and select Collapse. And then we're going to go to vertex mode and do exactly what we did with the wine for the glass. Going to move that one down. Then I'm going to hit Edge and double click on this edge and pull this one down as well. And this creates what's called the meniscus in the liquid, which is where it clings to the side of the glass. And now that we're done with that, we can unhide the wine bottle. And while we're in here, let's go ahead and create some materials for this. Open up your material editor, move to an empty space, get a physical material, and name this one wine bottle, and then click and drag the output node and drop it onto your bottle. And then with that material selected, under the presets, select glass solid geometry. Then we're going to have to turn off wireframe and go back to default shading. And we're going to have to turn on active shade so we can see the color of this. And we want this to be a green, like a wine bottle. So select the material, go to the transparency setting, and change that to a green color. Saturate it some more. And it should look about like that. And you can darken it up a little bit if you'd like by dragging down the brightness or the value. Now for the wine inside, we can simply apply the same material we applied to the wine in the glass. So let's hide the bottle in our outliner, find the wine material that we created, click and drag the output node and drop it onto the wine object. And then we can unhide the bottle, close the material editor, and we now have a glass of wine and our partially filled wine bottle. And this is what you should have so far. And when we come back in the next video, we're going to bring the bowl into the scene that we've already created. And I'll see you then.